2024 is called to order. We will now proceed with the land recognition. We can go to the next slide. So, Western University is situated on the traditional territories of the Anishinaabeg, Haudenosaunee, Lunapawek, and Attawandaron peoples, who have longstanding relationships to the land and region of southwestern Ontario and the City of London. The local First Nation communities of the area include Chippewa of the Thames First Nation, Oneida Nation of the Thames, and the Munsee Delaware Nation. In the region, there are 11 First Nation communities and a growing Indigenous urban population. Western values the significant historical and contemporary contributions of local and regional First Nations and all of the original peoples of Turtle Island, also known as North America. And we'll now proceed with the Western song. Peter, do you want to? You don't have to.
Yes, only because the incoming counselors are here.
Oh,
All right.
this is okay.
And
You're
it's the
all in for
last
a
one.
treat.
And it's the last one. Okay. Western U, college fair and square. Arts and meds are strong for you, deny it if you dare. White and purple colors are worn by all who know just which college is the best. Come and let us show. This U is our U, for her we'll strive to do our best and fight with might and main. What's main? We will always adore her. Our own alma mater, Western School of Fame. When Western U goes marching down the field, know that our team will never ever yield. And though the other team has lots of pep, when they meet our team, they'll know they're out of step. And when the game goes down in history, history is just another Western victory. Then all the cheers go up for Western U, rah, rah, rah. To the right now, rickety, rickety, rackety, roo. Hullaba, 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 hullaba. Canada, canoe, high up sky, Western U, WESTER, Western, woo. All right.
Amazing. Let's get a big Zoom round of applause for that. You can use your little reactions. Amazing. Okay. We will now proceed with roll call. So I think the incoming counselors have already done that by filling out the sheet. Outgoing, please go to Echo 360 and state that you're present. Okay. All right. We could now move on to the approval of the agenda. As it stands, we will have the presentation given by our outgoing president, and then the outgoing council will approve the motion to approve the updated policy binder, and then also the ratification of the 2024-2025 council. And then both councils will approve the de-ratification of the 2023 to 2024 council, and then the incoming council will approve there will be motions to appoint the 2024 to 2025 USC auditors, the ratification of the incoming USC board of directors, and the approval of the 2024-2025 legislative calendar. Is there a mover for this? Councillor Liakakos and Councillor Howe can second. Are there any questions on the agenda as it stands? Okay. If there are no questions, are there any points or debate or amendments to be made to the agenda right now? Okay, seeing as there are none, please go to Echo 360 incoming councillors to vote. Please get the votes. We're just at quorum, so we can't not a lot of leeway for people to not vote today. Okay, perfect. We'll now move on to the approval of the minutes. In this, we're going to be approving our last meeting minutes, which would have been the April minutes as well as the AGM from last year. The minutes for those can be found in the agenda for today. Is there a mover for this? Councillor Flaherty and then Councillor Thornton can second. Oh, is anyone okay? Dane, are you minutes or should I?
I'm doing them. It's just lagging.
Oh, Okay, awesome. Okay, then are there any questions on this? If there are no questions, are there any points of debate or amendments to be made to the minutes from the last meeting and the last AGM? Seeing as there are none, please go to Echo 360 to vote. Outgoing councilors? And it looks like there's some people who can't use Echo 360. Direct message me your votes on Slack. Okay, the minutes stand. We'll now move on to a presentation given by the outgoing president. No comments from me. President Ajak, you have the floor.
Thank you, Bella. Just want to say before I begin, you are not all official counselors until you hear Peter sing that song. So that, I don't know if we could put that in policy. That could be a ratification process, but it's got to be somewhere because no one does it like Peter. So thanks for always singing that song, my friend. Okay, so for all the incoming and outgoing counselors here, I promise I won't take 25 minutes. I honestly, it is 20 minutes way too long. So I will be quick because I know we're all in the middle of May and we all just want to enjoy the weather, right? Awesome. Okay, so Bella, I don't know if you have the presentation in your slideshow here, or I don't know who's.
Was it sent to me or where can I find that?
Should have been. And if not, give me 30 seconds. I can do that right now.
Bella, should I stop sharing?
Yeah, yes, please.
Okay.
If you can email it, Slack, whatever, it's easiest.
I'm about to email it to you right now. Awesome. Let me know when you have that and I can get started.
All right. Should Can everyone see?
Good. Okay, so I've given iterations of this presentation to many different stakeholders, and I think giving it to you guys would probably be the most fun and the most exciting because you guys will actually know all the great things that we've done this year. So for the outgoing counselors, kick back. You have seen this many times throughout our updates from all my executives. And for the incoming counselors, get excited because these are all the great things that we have done this year. So with that being said, if I could pick just one word to sum up the year, I think it would be growth. Growth for the UC as an organization, as well as my own personal growth. Yeah, go ahead, Bella. You can keep going. I'll let you know if you're going too fast. But growth as an organization, growth as a student body, growth in professional development, but just growth inherently. We have come a long way since I was first ratified a year ago at this time, and I'm happy to highlight that now for you all. So as my term comes to an end, I don't know if we've done this in the most recent years, but we've kind of done an annual report. So we've included numbers, we've included some of the big accomplishments that we've done, just to really highlight some of the new heights that we've reached within our advocacy, our partnerships that we forged with Western and the greater community here, and especially with what we've done all supporting me and my executive team as well. So take a look right there. We are students, and you'll see that many times throughout this presentation, but each of them has a certain facet. So let's talk about the megaphone, what we're actually here to do. Next slide. Bella, you're killing it. Thank you. So in the summer, we were graced to meet Minister of Housing and Infrastructure, Sean Fraser. This was something that Emily Poirier, my Vice President of External Affairs, worked really hard on, and we were voicing our concerns about students and addressing the cost of living and affordable housing. We advocated for both a tuition freeze extension and the removal of on OSAP, and we reallocated funds to ensure that food support services was able to keep up with the increased demand that we have seen. It's been a really, really, really tough year for a lot of students, not just with their mental health or just their just being themselves on campus, but within their wallets, within their social sphere. It's just been a really tough year, but we've all persevered, and it's been advocacy initiatives led by Emily, Maria, Bianca, Tamsin, Meredith that have pushed for students to get a better student experience here on campus, and I couldn't be more proud to associate with that. The need for a united student voice has never been more important, and I know the groundwork was laid a lot this year, and we've done that with the help of each and every one of the outgoing counselors. So thank you for that as well. You were a little ahead of me there, though. You're doing great. Next slide. Awesome. So that's our mayor, Josh Morgan. He is a very, 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 very kind man. He's actually a USC alumnus. He was Emily's position way back in, do not quote me here, 2003, I'm not too sure, 2002. Wide range there, but one of those years. He was vice president of external affairs, and now he's leading our great city. So with that, if you guys weren't at this professional development session, we invited some of the counselors. As you can see, there's Sophia there. It's the back, it's the back of Peter, is that the back of your head there?
Yeah, that's me. That's
Yeah,
me
it's the back of your head.
on the blue shirt.
Yeah. But essentially what he was speaking about is like transitioning out of these amazing roles that you guys have here and what you guys can do moving forward as you guys continue with your advocacy side of the USC, because you all have great ideas to support students, to support the community. So we thought we'd bring Josh Borg to talk about how he took his time as USC Vice President External and then progressed to now be the city mayor. So that was a great professional development session. It's actually one of our pillars. We are here to help students develop professionally, and we couldn't be more proud to have that opportunity. Next slide. So again, we have students. So talking about local businesses here. Moving forward, I think in the awesome. So you guys didn't know, beneath the stairs of the UCC, like the last stairs, we recently opened up our Purple Star. So I don't know who designed that, to be honest. I swear we actually have good designers. I think that was a joke, but as you can see, we sell amazing Purple Store swag that you guys can buy. It's student money used to help and promote the great campus we have here. So next slide. So the Bachelor finale, if anyone has seen the Bachelor recently, put your hand up so I can see how many people are fans there. But as you can see, there's the amazing, I see Sophia, great. And Angela, great, I love it. Well, that's Meredith McFarland. She actually hosted, I believe his name was Blake. Blake Meredith, do I have that correct? The name might be escaping me, but we hosted him in the Wave. It was a full house. I actually came to go visit. I've never seen The Bachelor once in my entire life, but it was a great opportunity to meet them. It was such a great atmosphere. But it's moments like this where you can bring students outside of the classroom, really make them connect with their friends on the passion, just like watching The Bachelor, and really have a good time in some of the great spaces that we have. So really, really, really proud of that. Next slide. So the Spoke. So some of you guys may not know this, but you'll love the Spoke. If you haven't been around to tell, we serve around 1,600 students per day. There's over 100 menu items. And if you take a look at that number, yes, that is just how much people love coffee here on campus. I'm pretty sure my team contributes to 1,000 of those because we all love coffee here. But the Spoke is a great, great, great student initiative. It's unlike any restaurant on campus. It honestly should be a heritage site at this point, but regardless, we're really proud for all the numbers, the increase of numbers and traffic that we've seen in the Spoke this year. Next slide. So our support system. So if you guys haven't been downstairs to the peer supports, this is a great space that Bianca, Vice President of Student Services, revamped in the summer to make sure that students have a great, welcoming, and safe space to just study, get resources, get some community connections, and really just be supported in a great space. So if you haven't yet, I highly recommend going down to the peer support, seeing some of the new improvements that Bianca and her team has done, and that I know Daniel Clapper, who's your new Vice President of Student Services, will do great things with that space as well. So really, really proud of what we've done in that. Next slide. Awesome. So Mustang on Demand. So here's a brief overview of the services that we provide, and some of the numbers that go behind that. So you can actually see when we talk about these things in council and all the incoming counselors, you will talk about these things. You can see just how much the demand is for students and what they use and how that actually affects their day-to-day life. So 7,000 students use the Mustang on Demand. 11,000 consultations were done with My Virtual Doctor, which was a service that was voted via referendum in my election, 2013. And you could just see how many students really use that service. And it just goes to show what democracy can do when we empower students like that. Over $100,000 distributed through, oh, ahead of me there. Over $100,000 distributed through the USC Grant Fund, and over 1,800 food support hampers were delivered this year. So remember that a couple months ago, for all the outgoing and all the incoming, a couple months ago, we were talking about the need on campus and just how much food insecurity is hitting a lot of students. So those are the numbers that go behind that, and just how much amazing work Bianca did to support those students who were using those hampers. Next slide. Wonderful. So Mental Health Day, came out of the University Affairs portfolio. Mental health has been a big advocacy initiative of this council and previous councils, and I would imagine ongoing councils in the future. So we really try our best to highlight the need for supports on mental health on campus, and what we do as a University Student Council with the help of our actual council to support mental health on campus, and just how many things that we have that students can utilize. So that was a good showcase of all the great things that we do. But yeah, we are students again, so we're a community connector. I spoke about this before. I think that the best aspect of my role is engaging with the greater London community, whether it be through advocacy or just basic initiatives. If you would walk through the UCC on any given day, you would see we have different universities, we have different local businesses, we have different people that come and engage students where they're at, because we really believe that your life in London as a student is not just on campus. It really is within the greatest city. And once you take a stroll down any city that's not Brathill, you will see that there's great things that happen on campus. So, next slide. Thank you. So, O Week 2023, I don't need to explain this one. This is a big heart for a lot of people, and Meredith's child as well. O Week saw amazing numbers, great turnouts, whether it be through our events, whether opening, closing, Global Village, Welcome Ways, which was recently rebranded by Meredith. But this has been a staple for Western for many, many years. And the USC has a really, really, really big role in that. We had a great orientation week meeting this morning, actually, with the incoming Vice President Orientation and Programming, Sarah, and President Emily Collegian, and they have great ideas for how O Week 2024 is going to look. If anyone is a soft, also put your hand up so we know who we can clap for. But you guys are going to have a great, great, great year for O Week. So please keep the tradition of O Week alive and kicking. Make sure students are safe, make sure students feel supported, and just make sure that we get a chance to really celebrate the great culture that we have here on campus. Yeah. Next slide. Awesome. So student engagement. This has been a big discussion for a lot of us this year. So we don't do engagement like any other university. It's really a unicorn what we have here at this campus, and we have utilized it, we've taken it, and we have run with it. You guys know that we recently voted, and I say recently like it wasn't a couple months ago. It was a couple months ago where we switched Tance's position, Vice President Communication and Public Affairs, to Vice President Student Engagement. For all the outgoing, that was in alignment to one of our strategic pillars. Student engagement was actually the one position that wasn't supported by any direct executive. So now we have an amazing vice president. Her name is Shreya. She will see you guys pretty soon. She is the first ever vice president of student engagement, and I have absolutely no doubt that she'll do the position all the justice that it needs because she's an amazing individual. So that's really good to hear. So as you can see, take a look at the numbers there, guys. Like our following went up almost 10,000, which is absolutely insane. We had 8,000 unique users on the USC Now app, and 18,000 survey responses were collected in the various surveys that we ran throughout the year. So the numbers mean a lot, and the numbers don't lie. We do student engagement unlike anyone other. Slide. Battle of the Bands. This was actually, I feel bad speaking about this because this was Meredith's brainchild as well. It's actually one of the first ideas she actually came up with when she was thinking about how the year would go. But Battle of the Bands was a great student initiative. If you didn't know, we have a lot of student artists on campus, and they all have such unique talents. So that was one of the events that she ran because she wanted to really highlight these students. And again, that's just one of those moments where we're bringing students outside of their usual bubble and then really celebrating what they can do and their talents and just have a friendly competition because we all love competition on this campus. So Battle of the Bands was a great hit. And speaking of engagement and just having fun on campus, our club system. So if anyone believes in angel numbers, please tell me what that means because I actually don't know what that means. I don't know what 222 means, but I know it's a really good one. But we have 222 ratified clubs, over 800 club executives, and 4,000 club events this year. So if you break that down, I don't know the exact math on the division with this, but obviously that's more than a few events happening every single day during the academic year. So the club system, I would imagine, I would be remiss to say that every single person on campus has been involved in the club system at least once in some sort of capacity. And again, I will echo this a million times. This system does not exist anywhere else. We really do have such a unique unicorn in our culture and just how students are engaged with what we do. And we're just lucky to have it. And it's individuals like you that really do support these things. So all the incoming counselors, the outgoing counselors, outgoing, thank you for the work that you did helping us support the club system. And incoming, please try to find new ways to really support that system because there's over 13,000 students in there. That's your biggest interface with students, and they deserve the great work that you guys do as well. So I believe we're almost done here. Oh, that's me. So we are a skills developer. I spoke about this too earlier. If you want to go to the next slide, Abella. Thank you. This is the Career Summit. So this was actually also done out of the University Affairs portfolio. This was done in collaboration with Student Experience, so the careers and experience facet of that, and John Dirks' team. So that was a great initiative where students can meet and then plan their careers and talk about things that that they plan within their time here on campus, and honestly after campus as well. So next slide. So job opportunities. Yes, we are a great place to work on campus. We have over 200 part-time staff, whether that be in the Spoke, the Wave, the productions crew, as you guys can see there. 41 hired AVPs and coordinators that do the actual work that we talk about at council, where if you guys were to say, Sunday, we got to paint the walls purple for some reason, we would have people that we can rely on that are ready to support the organization, where we can talk about, okay, I guess I got to paint the walls purple, so that's what we're doing. But such invested students that really are the backbone of this organization. I know I say a lot that I thank you guys for the great work that you guys do. And I try my best to say this to them as well. But if you guys are all in the vicinity of someone who works in the Spoke or the Wave, whether it be a host, a server, or anyone on the productions crew, these people put immense hours into their jobs. And I really hope you guys can recognize them as well, because we try our absolute best to, but sometimes, as I said this before, work goes unnoticed, but we try not to do that here, right? We want to support everyone. So I know I lied. I said I wouldn't be 25 minutes, and I think I'm 10 minutes or 15 minutes in, but I'm gonna wrap this up quick. So Women in House was also a big success as well. As you can see, there's Vice President External Affairs Emily Poirier leading the charge with that as well. And I know I'm gonna wrap up here, so we'll speed through here. Next slide. So after all that being said, when you hear students have the power to change the world, it really is not just a catchy slogan where we can just brand it on a banner and then hang it on the UCC roof and just say, this is what we believe in. Take a look at the pictures, take a look at what you hear, take a look at the numbers, and you can really see that students truly do have the power to change the world, whether it be big, monumental change or the smallest change that sometimes goes unnoticed. It's students that do this. It's students that plan O Week. It's students that do the advocacy for mental health. It's students that run the Spoke in the Wave. It's students that are doing these concerts. It's students that are voting on the policies. It's students that are leading this organization to new heights that will only be surpassed by those who will follow in our steps. So I couldn't be more proud to have led this executive team in the year 2023 and 2024. I will remember this honestly for the rest of my life. And a little bit of a personal note here, just from me to you, totally unscripted. Thank you. Absolutely thank you. And I mean that in the best times and the worst times. We've all grown immensely. And I said this too at our last meeting in front of everyone, but just for the incoming counselors, you have no idea the work that you guys, the power and the work that you guys will have and just what you guys will do. I encourage you to just talk to a random student and see just how much of an impact you have in the small choices that you guys can make. Like if you take a look at the bottom right there and just see, we're putting our placards up, we're voting on things, but these have direct impacts on students. And you guys lead that charge. And we're lucky to have you. You guys all put your names down on a ballot. You guys are voted in. You guys are trusted by students. So do the roles proud, do them with integrity. And I think this is the very last time I will be speaking to you guys. So Sunday Ajax signing out. Thanks, guys.
Thank you for that. Peter, do you mind screen sharing again? All right. That's kind of a tough act to follow, but now kind of to get into the back to the boring and procedural stuff, we're going to our motion to approve the updated policy binder. So whereas the policy binder has been updated to reflect changes passed by council throughout the year, be it resolved that council approve the updated policy binder, and you can see the changes in the appendix if you go look. Is there a mover for this? Councillor Sarma and then Councillor Yele can second. Are there any questions on this motion? Okay, if there are no questions, are there any points of debate or amendments to be made? Peter, I think it's the one before. Thanks. If there are no points of debate or amendments to be made, please go to Echo 360 to vote. Councilors, please go vote. Okay, this motion passes unanimously, so please feel free to Zoom clap. And with that, we'll move on to our next motion. This is so exciting. The ratification of the 2024 to 2025 Council. So be it resolved that the 2023 to 2024 Council ratify the membership of the 2024 to 2025 USC Council. This is the outgoing councilors still voting. So is there a mover for this? Councillor Wasty and then Councillor Howe can second. Okay. Are there any questions on this motion? Councillor Ratanchi, is that a question or is that? a lingering hand.
Sorry, it's a lingering hand. I'll put it down.
No worries. Okay,
Thank-
if there are no questions, are there any points of debate or amendments to be made? Okay, seeing as there are none, please go to Echo 360 to vote. Outgoing councilors? Uh, okay, this motion also passes unanimously. So right now both councils are ratified. We've got 50 people, and this is where we're gonna have to um lock in here as a council, because so now we have to de-ratify the 2023 council, as both councils are ratified right now, and both the outgoing and the incoming need to do that. So I'm gonna need majority for both. So first of all, be it resolved that the 2023 to 2024 and the 2024 to 2025 USC Council de-ratify the membership of the 2023 to 2024 USC Council. So is there a mover for this? Let's see. Councilor Leakakos and Councilor Matsuko Kawo can second, I believe. All right, so what I'm gonna need, are there any questions on this first of all? Okay, are there any points of debate or amendments to be made? Okay, seeing as there are none, outgoing councilors vote the way that you just voted previously, and then incoming councilors raise your Zoom hand and keep it raised if you're in favor. Okay, so okay. So outgoing councilors, go to Echo 360. Incoming councilors, please raise your Zoom hand if you're in favor of this motion. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, you can lower. Okay, please. All right, I'm gonna lower your hands for you. Okay, please, and if this is for incoming councilors. Raise your Zoom hand if you are against or opposed to this motion. And then raise your Zoom hand if you're abstaining from voting on this motion. Okay, hold on. So this passes unanimously for the incoming, or this passes unanimously for the incoming counselors, but there was one opposition from the outgoing counselors. I guess sometimes takes a while to get rid of y'all, but with that, the 2024 and 2025 counselors are now the only council positions, and the 2023 to 2024 have been de-ratified. So we've switched over, and we're gonna put the 2024 council 2024 to 2025 counselors to work immediately with motion 4. So this is the appointment of the 2024 to 2025 USC auditors, and council must approve the USC auditors on an annual basis. And whereas the service of PricewaterhouseCoopers has been through and dependable and served historically as the USC auditors, be resolved the council appoints PwC as the auditors for the upcoming 2024 to 2025 year. Only incoming counselors can move and second from this point forward. I'll try my best to vet that as best as I can, but please raise your hand for incoming counselors if you'd like to move. Counselor Smith, I believe, is incoming, and then Counselor Yang can second. For incoming counselors, are there any questions on this motion? Counselor Sharma, is there a question? Okay. For the incoming counselors, are there any points of debate or amendments to be made to this motion? Okay, seeing as there are none, incoming counselors, please raise your Zoom hand if you're in favor. Okay, lower. Okay, those opposed to this motion? And then those abstaining? Okay, this motion also passes unanimously, so congratulations to the incoming counselors for passing your first motion. All right, and I think, yeah, we have another motion, which is the ratification of the incoming USC Board of Directors. So whereas council is responsible for the ratification of new directors to the USC Board, be resolved the council ratify the following incoming directors, effective immediately, and that would be Grace Wu, Michael Hawes, Bruce Yu, Kyra Hylas, Alex Vafe, Ethan Barry, Sony Rombarak, and Emma Willette. Is there a mover for this from the incoming counselors? Counselor Bennett, and then Counselor. Oh my gosh, it's happening too quickly. Counselor Teodorescu can second. Are there any questions on this motion? Okay, no questions. Then are there any points of debate or amendments to be made to this motion? Counselor Wang, is that a question or a lingering hand? Okay.
Just a lingering hand.
Okay. All right, then we're gonna call to question. Incoming counselors in favor, please raise your Zoom hands. Lower. Those against, please raise your Zoom hands. And those abstaining. All right, this motion also passes unanimously, so congratulations to our incoming board of directors. And we'll now move on to our final motion of the evening, which is the motion to approve the legislative calendar. You can see the legislative calendar in the appendix, I think it might be there. Is there a mover for this motion? Counselor Smith, and then a seconder can be Counselor Ahmad. Are there any questions on this motion? Okay, if there are no questions, are there any points of debate or amendments to be made? Seeing as there are none, please raise your Zoom hand if you're in favor of this motion.
I'm in that.
Okay, you can lower. All right, and those against? And those abstaining? Okay, amazing. This motion also passes unanimously, which exhausts all of our agenda items, the main agenda items for today. So with that, we'll take questions or comments from the Western community. If there are any, you can raise your Zoom hand. Okay, then if there are none, that's all you'll hear from me. Nothing else to say. You guys will have a new speaker, the incoming council, so they'll teach you how to do all this stuff soon. But for now, I need a motion from termination from one of the incoming counselors. Okay, Counselor Seraphim can just say you're making a motion to terminate.
I motion to terminate the meeting.
Okay, and then Counselor Wang can second. And then, unless there are any objections, this meeting is now terminated and we have a new council. Okay, thank you, everyone. You can stay behind if you have any questions, comments, concerns, but everyone else is free to go. Enjoy your Wednesday
Congrats, new
night.
council.
Congratulations and good luck, my friends. You guys are gonna do great.
Yes.